What's up, everybody? My name is Gabriel Quartang, and today we're going to be deriving the quadratic formula using standard form, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So, we're going to get straight into it. As you can see here, standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And we're going to be using the complete the square method to solve for the quadratic equation. And what the complete the square method does is that it changes the equation so that it is a perfect trinomial and turns it into a perfect square. So we're going to start off here. The first thing we're going to do to our equation, which is right here, is that we're going to group the common factors. So here are the common factors seen are x. So we're going to group those together. Ax squared plus bx. And don't forget your c. Keep your c there. We're going to group those together. We just group those. And then after we do that, we're going to factor out the coefficient of x squared. So x squared is right here. And the coefficient of x squared is a, number in front of it. So we're going to factor that out. We're going to factor that out to the whole grouping. So it's going to be a, it's going to be x squared plus b over a, because to take it out you have to divide it by it. So it's b over a multiplied by x. Don't forget plus c, which is there. We'll get to that in a moment. So after that, you have to take out half of whatever number is in front of x. And in this case, ln x squared, or x, ln x, sorry, right here. The number in front of it is b over a. So we're going to take half of that. We're going to take half of this number, multiply that by 1/2. And what we're going to get is b over 2a. But after that, with using the complete the square method, you need to square it. It's the little thing that you need to add when using this method. So we're going to square this. We're going to square this. And when you square it, we get b squared over 4a squared. So now our new equation is a x squared plus b over a x plus b squared over 4a squared plus c equals 0. But despite this, it hasn't been factored out. A hasn't been factored out of this number, so we're going to have to factor a out. And when you factor a out of this number, we get b squared over 4a. And since we just added this number into it, we're going to have to add it to both sides. So in addition to adding to the left side, we're going to have to add it to the right side. So now our new equation, after we add it to both sides, is going to be a over x squared plus b over ax plus b squared over 4a plus c equals b squared over 4a. All right? And here's where our c comes into play, as we're going to have to subtract c from both sides. So here we're going to subtract c. Now our equation is a x squared plus b over a x plus b squared over 4a equals b squared over 4a minus c. That's our equation right now, right here, right there in the bottom corner. That's our equation. You get a new piece of paper. So right now we have our equation ax squared plus b over ax plus b squared over 4a equals b squared over 4a minus c. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the things in the parentheses into a perfect square. And to do that, we're going to take out whatever half the middle term of the whole parentheses. So when you do that, you get x plus b over 2a squared is what you get when you do that. So right now we're going to have ax plus b over 2a squared equals the rest of the stuff on the other side, b squared over 4a minus c. So after we do that, we're going to divide each side by a. We're going to divide each side by a. So after you divide a out of both sides, you're left with the equation here. X plus b over 2a squared equals b squared over 4a squared minus c over a. So at this point, we're going to have to get a common denominator for a, because a and 4a squared are two different denominators. So to do that, we're going to have to multiply this by 4a squared on both sides of the denominator. And then after we do that, we're going to have 4ac over 4a squared. And now we have two common denominators, so our new equation is going to be x plus b over 2a squared equals b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared. And then at this point, to get rid of the square, we're going to have to take the square root of both sides. So we do that here, and do that there. And then after we do that, we're left with x plus b over 2a equals, and when you do the square root, you have to have a plus or minus. So it's plus or minus b squared, the square root of b squared, minus 4ac over 2a, because 4a squared is, when you square the square root of 4a squared is 2a, so it's over 2a. And then we're going to have to bring the b over 2a to the other side. So we're going to do that here. And then after we do that, we're left with x equals negative. We're going to subtract that. We subtract that there. It's x equals negative b over 2a plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And here you can see that there's two common denominators. So we can just add that together, add those two together. And now we have x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. All of this is over 2a. And that is our equation. That is the equation for the quadratic formula. And up here, the two answers will be x equals negative b plus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a, and x equals negative b minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So those would be your two answers, and that's how you derive the quadratic formula. Thank you, and if you liked it, leave a like on the like button. Thank you.